So hello and welcome to 5 at 5. And today the practice match ends, and a lot of things are going on in Indian cricket. Yes, the practice match is on. Gary Kirsten, the Sri Lanka head coach now, he also visited the NCC ground to take a look at how the Sri Lankan bowlers are doing. Had a chat with Gurnur Brar, what I read. Interesting developments there. Shubman Gill has returned, so that's a big positive for the Indian team. And as far as the other things are concerned, there was a media round from the COE. It's the second anniversary of the Center of Excellence. So we the some select media were invited for that tour where BBS Lakshman had a pretty lengthy press conference, press meet with the media personnel there, and gave a lot of updates around the Center of Excellence as well. So that is also going on, and we will take a quick update on the upcoming or Bangladesh tour from Devashis as well. Devashis, just to clear that Bangladesh tour away, any update you have around the Bangladesh tour? There are a lot of development going on. Some are writing that government level talks are on. We also reported that the government talks are on, and it could be the decision could be in affirmative. But any latest update do you have before we dive into the practice match?
Yeah, there have been a few media outlets who are here in Sri Lanka to cover the LPL, and they are also very optimistic about India traveling to Bangladesh to take part in the six-match series because they have they were sharing that Tamim Iqbal has in that previous press conference exuded confidence that yes, India are likely to travel. Means obviously, despite the fact that both the the situation is obviously with the government level, but the BCB is very much hopeful that India will travel. BCCI will send the team to Bangladesh.
Okay, okay. Shamik, you have any update regarding this, or shall we continue to the practice match?
Shubhan, we stick to what we have written 2 days ago. Um, it will be decided at the highest level, at the highest government level, not only government level, but at the highest government level, and things remain that way. Both parties are pretty affirmed. I mean, both parties are hopeful that a nod in the affirmative will come along the way. So that is the thing. If you want to attach diplomacy, if you want to attach, cross-border politics into it, one very significant thing that after Sheikh Hasina's press conference, although the Bangladesh Foreign Ministry issued that statement condemning it, they didn't escalate. So it's sort of pretty sort of hunky dory, at least on the face of it. The relations between India and Bangladesh at this moment in time under the elected government in Bangladesh, it looks like it's sort of pretty hunky dory. And also, see, going beyond cricket for commerce and everything, Bangladesh needs India, and cricket is a small cog in that wheel. In
Right,
cricket is just a small cog in that commerce wheel, because from
right,
ports to export and everything, and Bangladesh's cricket economy becomes unsustainable without India touring. So
mm,
that is the thing, and that's how it stands now.
right. Right. Devashis, now coming to the practice match, the return of Shubman Gill was a big positive, scored 44, and that was pretty briskly paced innings from the Indian captain. That comes as a big positive. But any update you have around his fitness? What did he do the entire day before turning out to bat as an opener along with Yashasvi Jaiswal faced the new ball there. So any updates you have regarding Shubman Gill? All is fine, we can say.
That was a pleasant surprise for us all, Shubhan. Means we
Mm,
were all
right.
waiting for getting a reaction from Gary Custon, who made a surprise visit. Means just to
Huh.
see Avishka Fernando and Lahiru Kumara how they bowl.
Mm,
But he also
mm,
had a brief chat with Raghu. Oh, we all
mm,
know Raghu and Gary during that 2011 campaign. Shamikta will maybe better. Means he covered that World Cup. So do I. So he had a long chat with Raghu at the boundary line. Then he had a
mm,
brief chat with Manav Sutar, and then he walked back to the pavilion here at the non-district cricket club. So all the traveling media here, five of us are here. So we were all waiting at the non-district club pavilion. And then all of a
mm.
sudden someone said, "Arey, Shubman Gill is opening the batting." So everyone rushed that. बाद में देखा जाएगा. What happens with Gary later? Let's just go and cover Shubman Gill bat. But obviously, before going into open the batting, he batted for almost an hour. And if I may break down what happened with Shubman right from the start in the morning, he arrived. Obviously, he took part in a warm up drill along with Rishabh Pant. Then he took some catching practice, and that too with his left hand. Sairaj Bautule was giving him catching practice, and he was taking the catches with his left hand, and was not using the right hand. And then few moments later, he was padded up and he walked to the nets. He took throwdowns early on, and then during that time he had strappings, and over it he wore the gloves. Then after a few throwdowns, he decided to remove the strappings and put the gloves, and then he took down throwdowns from Nuwan. Only Nuwan was there alongside the three spinners of Vipraj Nigam, Shivam Kumar, and there was another one I couldn't remember. So all these three spinners were there. Shitangshu Kotak was also there, and that batting session Shubhan went on for almost 1 hour 15 minutes. And then he walked back, and obviously the Indian team will feel confident that the captain decided to open the batting with KL Rahul this time round, practicing in the nets, and Shubman and Yashasvi. Yashasvi, remember, he got out just facing two deliveries and for a duck. So Yashasvi and Shubman walked in to open the batting, and obviously that 40 runs will give much confidence. He looked ab- ab- absolutely fluent. Some cover drives, the cut shots, except for that small blemish in the delivery which he got out. But before that, he was very confident, and till the time he was out in the middle. Shumai.
Right. Samita, Yashasvi also scored a half century. Shubman returning fit among runs. That is a huge positive for the Indian team when we talk about the last day of the practice session. The biggest positive, perhaps.
100% Shubman, 100%. And Shubman, and I keep saying this. Shubman is the only world-class batsman in this lineup. This is Jaiswal and KL Rahul. Both are very, very good batsmen. But if you talk about a world-class batsman, Shubman is there. I would like to know from Debashish if while playing his shots, Shubman was pushing his injured finger behind the bat handle because, I mean, many years ago, one former cricketer told me that to detect a finger injury, if a batsman has a finger injury, a hairline fracture, it's not that you cannot play a match with a hairline fracture. Sunil Gavaskar did that. Sachin Tendulkar has done that. In fact, Sachin Tendulkar scored 157 against Sri Lanka, Arjuna Ranadunga, Sri Lanka, when he had a hairline fracture in the middle finger of his left hand, and he scored 157. So the thing is that if you have that problem, and the fact of the matter is that if you have a hairline fracture or something, it is still okay. You can play fast bowling by keeping your top hand or your bottom hand very, very light. But it is very, very difficult to play spinners because, especially on the front foot, when you go on the front foot to play forward defensive stroke, whatever is the finger, you have to lock your top hand, and that
Yes.
becomes that becomes a problem. So from
Yes.
that point of view, I think Devashish would be able to tell us better. If he was pushing his injured finger behind the bat handle, if that is not the case, then absolutely okay, and absolutely, and it's a very very positive news for India. Jasashri, you expect the way Jasashri plays, but at the end of the day, two test matches, 4 innings,
Hmm.
and given that 50% success rate, you expect Justice to go score in two of them. So
Okay.
that is sort of his success rate. And before handing over to you, Shubhan, I'm just digressing a bit as because
Yes.
Devashish mentioned that 2011 World Cup, Gary Kirsten and Raghu. So it is a bit anecdotal. I tell you an incident at Chepak, and you know Chepak, the practice nets are the adjacent to the men's stadium. Sachin Tendulkar was taking throwdowns from Raghu blindfolded. He was keeping his eyes closed, blindfolded. Gary was standing in front of the wickets. Raghu was giving him throwdowns, and Gary was saying, cover, point, mid off. And Sachin, blindfolded, was playing that. So that was, and when you cover that, you get your page one story. That's it. Over to you, Shubhan.
That's why Sachin is the ultimate master of the game, and playing blindfolded, that to a throwdown specialist like Raghu. Even today's batter without any blindfold will they with their open eyes sometimes struggle to take on Raghu. But that's the master of Sachin Tendulkar. But Rohit, what are your major positives? I mean, Shubman returning. Any update do you have around Shubman, because him batting and that too at that pace, opening the batting, facing the new ball, took on the spinners as well decently. He looked in very good touch. So that has to be the
Yes.
biggest positive for you in terms of this practice game.
Absolutely, as Devashish Da told us about everything what he did, from the practice session, more than 1 hour of practice session, and more specifically, that's why I was specifically asking him that did he play fast bowlers also, and that there comes the surprise. Means you haven't played fast bowlers in the nets, but you are opening the innings for India against a new
Hmm.
ball, and obviously Lahiru Kumara is not the same Lahiru Kumara now. He's gained a little bit of weight, but I think still the kind of pace he generates or the kind of bowler he is, you have to give it to Shubman Gill, because for a right-hander, and more specifically, if it's your if it's your left hand, then it's going to be, you have to take the control from your left hand and you have to generate power from your bottom hand. That's going to be your right hand. So both the hands, and as far as the thumb is concerned, again, it is a very vital part of your, when you hold a bat. So I
Hmm.
think that first 10 minutes of that practice session was is what I'm getting, is what I'm getting, that only for the, the gripping thing, because you have to have that grip practice first, and then you can, allow bowlers or the, throw down experts to give you throws at yes, Devashish, you want to chip in something?
Just one bit, because I might miss out. I sent a picture, Rohit. You will be better able to describe it. He still had that taping on his right thumb. So because in the BCCI media release, it stated that he had a injury in his ring finger, right hand ring finger, which was an impact injury. But he still had a taping on his right thumb. If you
I think
closely
this is
look
the
at the
area. This is the area where he's
this
hurt.
this
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 is the
this
area.
this, this area,
This
Yeah.
is the
this
area.
thumb
This
was
bone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, Shubhan, absolutely. This thumb was kept while he was batting today,
So means
because
if you look
during
at
the
if you
drinks
look
break, while he was having a banana, and that was when I captured it, because he was still having that tape on his right thumb.
So when you just imaginally when you check the grip of a bat, when you hold a bat, the 50% of your bottom hand will be done by your thumb only. Rest of the fingers will hold it, and then thumb will get the control done. So I think for me it's a very important part, and that's where, uh, it was quite evident that at some point of time he will come to bat. We were not sure that if there is any kind of batting he will do till yesterday, but today, as soon as that practice session happened, but obviously no one of us knew that, as Devashish rightly said, that they were busy having these words with Gary Curson, or maybe capturing Gary Curson, and suddenly you see a Shubman Gill walking towards, and
You can see
there
the
you can see.
taping. You can see this.
Yeah. Yes. And it's little difficult, because Shubhanda, you have played also a lot of cricket. I think when you insert your thumb, into the gloves, there is
Hmm.
obviously a plastic grip inside the cloth, which will give it more protection. So it is little difficult, when you insert that thumb, because of that taping, that makes it little uncomfortable, or a little forceful to insert that in. But I think that's when Devashish also point out during our morning conversation, that at one point of time it was like he batted for a while, and then he removed
Hmm.
that tape, and then he started batting, and then again maybe the physios, or maybe he himself thought of this, that let me cover the finger, or let me cover the thumb, just for the precautionary cause, and let me keep it very subtle. Let's not make a layer out of layer, in it, and let's not tape it heavy, so that it won't go inside, or I'll feel uncomfortable while gripping the bat. Because shot making, and we have seen that it's the cut shots, it's the typical Shubman Gill kind of inning. So
Hmm.
if you have any kind of a heavy tapping around that, I think it won't be that easy for him to play those kind of shots. So yeah, I think that's the biggest positive. Yashasvi Jaiswal getting runs, and he's one of the top players. When it comes down to spin, also you look at his innings in Pune. Even the New Zealand whitewashed us in that series, but that Pune innings of Yashasvi Jaiswal, I think, is one you cannot forget. Means the kind of pedigree he has to dominate against spin. Then you have obviously KL Rahul didn't got the opportunity, but 60 odd deliveries for him in the first innings. Rishabh Pant again, not able to score much, but I think there will be now huge pressure around Rishabh Pant. If he fails in both the matches,
Even Dhruv Jurel, I'll come
yeah,
to
Dhruv
this
Jurel
question
also.
pretty much. Yeah, Dhruv Jurel is not doing that much
from
to,
that from that Guwahati from that
hmm.
Guwahati dismissal, it's now it's first innings here, then also the dismissal. The kind of dismissal is giving you actually a picture around that who is comfortable at this point of time. Maybe we are at this point of time. If we have to make our playing 11 for the first test, we all will be very sure around that number 6. It will be Dhruv Jurel, but who knows? Who knows if there is a replacement officially announced? I don't know that it's more than
Yeah, I mean,
24
apart
hours.
from that century against West Indies and that 90 against England in
Hmm.
Ranchi, he has not done anything. I'm just checking his
I think
scores: 19-2-0, 13-14-6,
Shubhanda,
44-34,
it's the A
19.
series. It's the A series versus South Africa where he dominated. He captained the
No,
innings there
he
also.
has, he has
Yeah,
played he has played 10 test matches now. So, but we
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
only
yeah.
count two innings of any note when it comes to Dhruv
Without
Jurel.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
So
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Devashish, the one question that everyone is asking: who will be the second pacer for the Indian team today? Surprisingly, the spinners did not bowl much. It was the pacers, at least in the first half of their bowling. The pacers were handed the ball. Even Akib Nabi bowl a bit 5 overs, I think. Who do you think is getting the nod for the second pacer? Is it Gurnur Brar or is it Prasidh Krishna? And what are your observations of the first look of Akib Nabi with the ball?
Yeah, obviously, Shubhain, if you ask me today, also Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj shared the new ball, like the first innings. But for me, among the three, I think if you are to pick one between Prasidh Krishna and Gurnur Brar, it has to be Gurnur Brar. It
Gurnur
has
again
to
picked
be.
up 2 wickets in his
Yes,
8 overs
absolutely.
innings. Five
And
overs in the
and
first spell, three
he
in the second.
on this docile pitch, he was the one who was getting some bounce, awkward bounce, lifting the ball. So I think in that might just unsettle the Sri Lankan batter. So I think he has looked very impressive. It remains to be seen whether the team management repose their faith in Prasidh Krishna or they get in a Gurnur Brar who has done well so far. He looked really impressive in both the innings that he bowled.
Hmm. How was Akib Nabi? I missed his spell, but 5 overs, 27 runs. Going by stats, it does not look really good for economy rate of almost 6.
Yeah. He did not get a bowl. He did not, in fact, bowl in the first innings and second innings also. He was pretty much means obviously you cannot blame him because this
Hmm.
wicket had nothing on offer. But in this wicket, that is the reason I'm time and again mentioning Gurnur Brar. In this wicket, he looked very menacing. Means at least
Hmm.
time and again he was troubling the Sri Lankan batter. So for me, Gurnur Brar might put up a stiff fight to Prasidh Krishna. It will depend on the team management who they prefer. Siraj confirmed there is no two ways about it. But for me, Gurnur Brar should partner Mohammad Siraj with the new ball.
Hmm. Shamik, the two questions. One, the form of Dhruv Jurel and Rishabh Pant, is it a concern for the Indian team? And of course, who will be your pick of the bowler? I mean, your second bowler, second pacer pick.
I will answer the second question first because that is my
Ah,
favorite subject. That is my
ah,
favorite subject, and I have a very forward answer to that. If they stick to loyalty,
hmm,
they will pick Prashid Krishna. If they fall
hmm,
for quality, they will pick Guru Brar. The choice is simple because
hmm,
it's not only about getting a few years of extra pace, the ability to bounce the ball from a disconcerting length. And that is why
hmm,
Gurnar Brar and that is why Shubman Gill backed him to the head of the selection committee meeting.
hmm,
Now, if you have spotted something special in a cricketer, like you have
hmm,
done with Vaibhav Suryavanshi,
hmm,
in terms of the shortest format, that you have spotted something special in that kid, and that's why you have thrown him in at the deep end, like Gurnur Brar also. And Gurnur Brar will carry the confidence of his 10-wicket match haul in the second game for India A against Sri Lanka in that unofficial test less than a month ago. So he is in a good space. I hope he plays. I hope he plays. I don't know, someone, according to, as per my sources, I said he has a very good chance of playing to partner Siraj, and I wrote a copy on that. But once again, it is walking a tightrope. You never know, because the team management, the head coach has a mind of his own. I don't know what. But as far as I'm concerned, Shubhan, I'm so sorry. Your first question, what was your
Rishabh
first
and
question?
Juren.
With Dhruv Jurel, it is basically he can't play spin bowling. Simple. That dismissal against Simon Harmer, that hard hands, you cannot play spin bowling with hard hands. End of story. As far as Rishabh Pant is concerned, he is a fantastic player, but he is no longer the player he used to be after that accident. It can happen. It was almost a near fatal accident. He no longer, but he still has a very high ceiling. It is a case of application, apparently. For him, it is apparently a case of application. But be it Jurel or be it Rishabh Pant, but be it whoever, except Shubman Gill once again, because Shubman Gill has that footwork to neutralize the spinner to play with their length for all the other Indian batsmen. And I expect the pitches for the test matches will be different from what they laid out in this game. It was a sort of pata pitch for this tour fixture, but it would be, I guess it would be different. Indian batsmen will have to play sweep shots, conventional and reverse both. I don't know whether they have been training that or not, but they will have to, because they don't have the footwork.
You said sweep shots and behind the square shots. If a certain Sarfaraz Khan is picked as the replacement of Sai Sudarshan,
Yes,
I think he's the master of sweep shots and playing behind the square.
100%, 100%.
You
There
think he
are
has
two
a
things
chance of toppling Dhruv Jurel in the 11
he should.
if he
If he
goes
is
to Sri Lanka?
if he is there, he should. If he is there, he should. Any day of the week, he is a better option against Spain than the Dhruv Jurel.
Exactly.
And you have to keep in mind that he is a domestic cricket thoroughbred. Now there is a catch. On the face of it, if you are picking a replacement, a like for like replacement for Sai Sudarshan, who is a top order batsman, Sarfraz has never batted at number 3 in his life. He bats for number 5 or number 6 for Bombay. Now that is a like for like replacement. But the counter logic is that now your number 3 is locked in with Debut Patikal. You have a number 3. So you bolster your middle order. Which is a bit porous. Sarfraz would be a very, very good option in these conditions.
Rohit, same question. Rishabh, Dhruv, any chances of Sarfaraz coming in as a replacement for Sai Sudarshan?
Look, I have means we did a story around this yesterday, and I'm still very sure. As per my sources, I'm very sure that it will be Sarfaraz Khan. Going to replace Sai Sudarshan. The second thing is obviously what Shamikda has told. I think Ruturaj Gaikwad is also someone who used the crease really well when it comes down to scoring runs. When you see a Ruturaj Gaikwad tackling spin, it's again one of the best sides, and we have seen it in Raipur. There was challenge in that wicket. You have a Santner bowling into a Virat Kohli and someone like a Ruturaj Gaikwad. Virat, we all know that he loves to run also. So with Virat Kohli, you cannot be just stay there and just enjoy his batting. You have to you can't challenge Virat Kohli for a couple of runs, but you have to run it with him. And a senior player can refuse. Like a Rohit Sharma and a Virat Kohli partnership is going on, Rohit can say no. But for a Ruturaj, I think so. What I'm trying to tell here is that if you see the kind of the use of the crease he did in that particular game, when Santner was he's bringing his length a little backwards. It was like he was just trying to give him some room and hitting him over covers inside out. And when he's trying to bowl him a little straighter and little fuller, he was trying to go over the top. So the kind of batting, and then he has that sweep shot, either the traditional paddle sweep or the which finishes towards the square leg boundary, the slog sweep also. So I think both of these have this kind of stroke, and when it comes down to that run scoring, that consistency, I think that's where Sarfaraz is miles ahead when you compare it with a Sheikh Rashid, with a Ruturaj Gaikwad, with anyone else. Average over 60 and a continuous run scoring season by season. Look at his last season. It was the Vijay Hazare also where he scored runs. He broke the record of Rohit Sharma for Mumbai, fastest century, beat the smart runs. He has worked on his fitness. You saw him, I saw him. There were multiple times, people asked and rightly asked about his weight. And in last 1 or 2 years, he shedded it, I think, with around 12 kgs or 15 kgs or maybe 20 kg around. In last 2 to 3 years, I'm talking about. Fielding, you saw that brilliant one-hander catch in Chennai Super Kings. Those small kind of contributions with Chennai. So I think overall, when you see him, and one another thing is about he was always in the mix, because as many of the reports you'll find that he was in center of excellence for a specific kind of target program. I came to
Mm,
know last week or so that uh, after the arrival from Zimbabwe, Mr.
mm,
Rishikesh Kanitkar, who was there with the squad, who was there with the India A side also, he has these programs running for specific batters, and there were some batters chosen by him who he has done work on one on one basis. So I think
mm.
he was in the plans, and I think, yeah, it's the right time. And as Shamikda rightly said, I will also any day, if I have a choice between Dhruv Jurel and Sarfaraz Khan at number 6, I'll definitely go for a Sarfaraz Khan.
Shubhayan,
Yes.
I'm just chipping in for a minute. One thing is that yes, um, according to sources, some conversation has happened regarding Sarfaraz. It happened last night itself. Some conversations, as they are mulling on the replacement for Sai Sudarshan, some conversation has happened. But just my one thing, I'm struggling to make it 2 plus 2 equals to 4, because if Sarfraz were in their scheme of things, why wasn't he in that air total Sri Lanka? That is what that is what bugging me a bit, because whatever happens, Sarfraz, irrespective of that injury, he should have gone to that Sri Lanka, because but you should be prepared for any kind of eventuality. Sarfraz
Mm,
Khan, with that, if those couple of matches under his belt, if you are sending him, he wouldn't have gone there undercooked. So I think, irrespective of this injury, it was a bit remiss of the selectors not to pick him for that 8 off.
mm. That was pretty much surprising. Two players, I think, Sarfaraz and R. Smaran, not being in that India A squad was pretty much surprising.
Then
Devash is the
Arsman,
last question. Ah,
but
yes,
just
sir.
just about Ars Maran, if you see, I said it multiple times. It's a clear cut modus operandi. Apart from Harshit Rana, these selectors only select the players who are there in the India A. That's why a
Mm.
Sheikh Rashid
No,
name
no,
comes
R.
up.
Smaran for India A. R. Smaran for
Oh,
India A.
okay,
The
okay. Yeah,
recently.
yeah,
R.
sure,
Smaran
sure,
and
sure.
Sarfaraz in that India A squad not being there, it was pretty much surprising after they scored
Sure, sure, sure,
truckloads of
sure, sure.
runs on them.
Sure, sure.
Devash is the last question. Another playing 11 question. People are asking who will be the third spinner. Do you think it will be all lefty for the Indian team, or Sarah Jan has some outside chance to debut in goal?
No, no, Shubhan. I think India might go in with all three left-arm spinners.
Hmm.
All three left-arm spinners in Kuldeep, Ravindra Jadeja, and Manav Sutta. Sarang Jain,
Okay.
even in both the innings in this match, also in the nets. Yes, um, until and unless the team management thinks otherwise, because Sri Lanka has several right-handed batters in that top order. So
Hmm.
my gut feeling is that see, you have a Ravindra Jadeja. He has done well, all-round performance in this match. That is what the team management wants. He scored a half century, retired hard. He got wickets in both the innings. Yes, he didn't get a truckload of wickets, but he did get wickets. Manas Shutar has been outstanding. Manas
Hmm.
Shutar for me is the best left-arm spinner in this lineup, without a doubt. And obviously, then you also have a Kuldeep Yadav, who, yes, he hasn't been in the best of form, but Kuldeep Yadav, we all know, he is your wicket taker. So I think three left-arm spinners won't. I won't rule that possibility out until and unless team management thinks, yeah, we might just add some variation in getting in an off spinner in that bowling lineup as well.
And by when can we expect the Sri Lanka Test squad to be announced?
I don't know what is Sri Lanka cricket is doing. I asked Prasanna yesterday.
Yeah.
Everyone of you know him very well, and he said, "What is the
He's Rohit's
hurry?"
best friend.
See,
Ah,
I know. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. He gets the media releases ahead of every one of us.
he was
The
he was my best
same
friend
media
since
release
Asia
comes.
Cup 2023.
Yes, and we had a
Uh,
horrible experience in Asia Cup.
Devashish, I have a question for you. I mean, I know Saran's join was under hold in this game, but whatever he bowled, how did you see him as an off spinner?
But obviously, these are not the ideal conditions to judge a bowler because the conditions are really flat, Sumitra. If you ask me, in 350, 363 runs Sri Lanka 11 scored in that first inning. There was hardly in the first day wicket, there was hardly anything for the spin bowlers. Yes, all three spinners, the left arm spinners got couple of wickets each in that first inning. Second innings also, but I don't read much into it because the conditions here are pretty much flat. Obviously, there was some, I don't know what, there was something that was done on the wicket which Vaibhav observed in the morning, but it hardly mattered. Means obviously, these are a pretty flat condition. Is it the ideal preparations for the bowlers?
Hmm.
Batters, I would say yes, because everyone chipped in, scored some runs, got their confidence back. But as far as the bowlers, apart from Gurnur Brar and Manav Sutar, yes, it remains to be seen. But as far as the Sri Lankan state squad is concerned, I think we might have it by tomorrow. 200% we will have it tomorrow. They were waiting for this match to end. Gary Kirsten, in fact, turned up just to see Lahiru Kumara and and Avishka Fernando. Who
Okay.
was that? I think Vishwa Fernando.
Vishwa.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think more or less he just was here just to see. I mean, obviously, I don't know whether Gary's inputs will be taken since he is the head coach, but I think they were just waiting for this match to get over. Obviously, then this team has to be ratified by the sports minister here in Sri Lanka. Any
Hmm.
test squad or international squad that has been picked has to be ratified by the sports minister. So that is also one of the reasons
Yeah.
that the squad is not been announced.
Right. I think that brings us to an end to this show. Uh, Tomorrow, I think the Indian team is traveling, or day after tomorrow, Devasita?
No, day after
Day
tomorrow,
after.
the Indian team is traveling. What I know as of now, no practice tomorrow. It will be a rest day. Day after tomorrow is a traveling day, so no practice. Their next training session will be at Galle from the 12th.
Well,
From the 12th.
from the 12th. And Shamikda will also reach Gaul on 12th. So you will have another partner uh,
You,
to,
you
to
will
do.
you will also reach.
You are also
Why
traveling.
you are not mentioning your name?
No, no,
Why are
I'll be
you?
there. I'll be there as a support system to these two
No,
seniors.
no. I will drop
I am a
anchor.
see,
I'm
I am a see, I am a Stepney. I am a Stepney. You require any
I,
time I
I,
am
I
there.
am
I am there.
punctured tired. I
No,
am
no.
punctured tired.
I'm telling our viewers I will drop anchor at the Colombo airport because my flight lands a couple of hours earlier than Shubhayan's. So I will drop anchor. I will do that job. I will do that anchoring job. And after Shubhayan comes, then power play will start.
You will be supported by a bigger anchor in Amit Shah at the airport. So
That
stay
I know.
safe.
That I
Plenty
know.
of
Yes.
entertainment.
And he is landing around 4 o'clock in the morning.
Amit Shah will buy the entire airport within that time
Do listen
if
to
he
his
spends
songs,
such.
Shamika.
Huh?
Shamika, do listen to his old Kishore Kumar and Mohammad Rafi songs.
Yes,
You will
yes,
love it.
yes, 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 yes.
You will love it.
I think,
I loved
yeah,
it
I
in
think that
Birmingham.
But don't tell who his co-singer. Means it is not only Amit. There is another one who sings normally with him. I am not naming. But there is another singer.
lovely.
Duet.
I think
And,
wait.
and people don't know Devashish also sings well.
Wow.
We'll make him sing. If India wins 2-0, Devashita will have to sing a song from Colombo before departing to Kolkata, before
In
leaving for
Belize.
Kolkata.
in
It's
bellies.
Let it let
okay. I think that's a good note to end the show. Thank you so much, and that's the end of the practice game as well. So from tomorrow is
But
the
but
rest day. Day after tomorrow,
but what about the
yes.
press conference? Devashish, what about the press conference?
There
Done.
will be a press conference, right?
there will be a press conference after the day spray today. So I might just
I think
have to rush.
hopefully they will tell that who will be the replacement there.
Yeah,
Yes, 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 yes,
most
yes.
likely.
And
Let's see, let's see, let's see.
Shubhan, before you sign off, I think
Hmm.
VVS Lakshman has given us the quote of the day. Center of excellence is
Is
not
not
a
a
Not a
rehab
really.
release.
center. It is a center of excellence. That's the quote of the day from VVS Lakshman.
Then why
Hmm.
players go there? That's the big question. For other day,
So,
for some other day.
so I think that's something which Bharat I think has filed a copy as well. You can go to redsports.in to read about it. There are a lot of portals over there who have done a center of excellence proper video tour. So I don't know which channels, but you can go there and check those videos as well if you have any doubts around center of excellence. And of course, Indian cricket, it will continue tomorrow. Day after tomorrow is a travel day. Day after tomorrow is a travel day for the Indian team to golf, and from there onwards, the final preparation for these two match test series will begin for the first test and golf on 15th of August, which is the Independence Day of our country. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. And thank you again.